Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. In the last episode, we completed at least a majority of the main quests in Lhingris, and it looks like the ones I have on my tracker now are pushing me towards new areas in Mordor, which is very exciting. But you know by now that before I move on to another area, I do want to complete the Lost Lore in the previous area that I'm coming out of. So I missed some pages here in Lhingris, and I would like to pick them up. So let me show you exactly where I am. All the way down here in Dath Nethrin, and I'm really annoyed because I was editing some of the previous episodes and I ran right by this page. It was like right next to me, and I guess I just didn't see it, so now I'm back to grab it. Let me go for it.
Long before Lord Sauron came to Mordor, and long before the first stone of Barad-dûr was cast, she lived, a creature of evil in the form of a spider.
Very good. Next up, I need to go look for page 7, which is not too far away from here. It's going to be a little bit to the north. Yeah, I wanted to slap myself when I was editing that video when I ran right by that page. I bet a lot of you guys saw it. And were like, why isn't he picking up that page? Well, now it's picked up. Mr. Legolas, howdy. Alright, it's going to be, yeah, a little bit further north. I wrote down all the coordinates here of the pages that I'm missing. That way I can be efficient about this. And hopefully towards the second half of this episode, we can get into a new region, start hitting up some of these other quests. Okay, now we have to turn west a little bit. Oh, by the way, I did turn up the landscape difficulty to the max. We're now at difficulty 9, heroic +2. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it. Maybe I won't. Calm Lures, the Broken Cleft. So I think the page is just in here. So we've been in here before. If you remember this big cave, this is where I fought the, what is that guy called? The Silent One. So I believe that the page should be just inside here somewhere. Alright. Looks like I can't avoid it. I will have to fight these. We'll see how the Landscape 9 is going to look like. Manageable, manageable. Probably just can't get too many enemies on me. It is taking a while to burn this guy down, though. Okay. Alright, there is the page. I'm just going to grab it and get out of here.
When first she fled from Beleriand, Shelob came to the Greenwood. It was there she spawned the first of her vile children. And together, they devoured it from within.
Very cool. Let me get out of here. And actually, right now, I can teleport to this place. Iant Angos, and that'll kind of get me closer to the next few pages. Okay. Actually, I need to go across the bridge. It looks like my mount speed ran out. Let me use another one. I wonder where I got these from, because I haven't gotten them in a while, but they're actually very handy, especially for recording the series. Alright, so here's another page.
Centuries later, when at last Lord Sauron came to Mordor, he knew at once that something terrible and powerful lurked in the mountains of shadow.
Speaking of which, the next page is actually going to be near Shelob's lair, so let me head on over that way. Let me make sure I go the right way. Yeah, I have to follow the path up, around, as if I'm going to Kirith Ungol. I know I've mentioned this before, but I really like the quests that they put in each region to find the lore page with the voice acting. I think it's really, really cool. It is a little weird to read them out of order, though. I wonder if they could program it dynamically, right, so that each page is not bound to a specific location, but all the pages are still in the same locations, but it depends on the order in which your character interacts with. That way it's always progressing sequentially. What I say makes sense. Is any of that making sense? So, like, no matter what page you find in the locations, it'll always be the first page. And then the second one you find, it will always be the second page, so on and so forth. That might make it a little more digestible. We're almost there. I don't know how I missed this page, because I spent a lot of time up here, and I went in pretty deep there, so I don't know how I missed it. Torek Ungol. Yeah, it should be... Yeah, just here. Right there.
Unguatari, the last child of Ungoliant. This is the name he has chosen for her. But her ladyship has been known by many names, and even he has not learned her true name.
So I kind of gave you guys a little bit of lore before, but if you read the Silmarillion, Ungoliant is like a primordial being of Middle-earth. And she and Melkor, who was the original Dark Lord, they attacked the home of the elves, essentially, and Ungoliant sapped the light from the two trees. And that kind of started a big dark age and a lot of problems, of course. And then Ungoliant fled, spawned Shelob, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, I had planned to use my teleport for the next stage of this. So I think I'll do a little bit of editing. I'll meet you guys over here at Rothkale once my teleport is off cooldown. Okay, finally the milestone is off cooldown, and we shall be traveling swiftly to Lhingris. Okay, excellent. And then from here, I'm just going to go south. I missed one that's actually right along the road. Let me just make sure I follow the correct road. Strong progress being made here in the land of Mordor. Kippin's faring fairly well. So much so that I maxed out the landscape difficulty. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. If it does start slowing down the series significantly, though, then I might scale it back. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is fun to actually have to think about my gambit rotations, get to practice them, because otherwise, if you're just killing trash mobs, you never really get to have an opportunity for your rotations to really get going. By the time you're getting anywhere, the enemies are already dead. I'm gonna follow this road. And yeah, this should be the correct road. The page is a little bit further ahead on this road. I don't know how I missed it. Should be right on my path, I think. And then the last two pages are going to be down this way as well, not too far away, thankfully. Alright, the page should be right here. There it is. I guess it is a little tucked off the path, but still pretty clear.
In time, she became as Ungoliant, and her hunger grew insatiable. she spawned numberless spiders and crawling terrors, both to serve her and to feed her.
Let me make sure I'm going the right way. I am not. That could have been a 5-minute disaster before I realized I was riding in the wrong direction. Thankfully, I can adjust my course. Discovered a new location here. I guess I am going to have to be careful because there are some green enemies here that will attack me. I will try my best to avoid most of them so we don't take too long. But why don't I fight 2 of these at once? Let's see how we do with fighting 2 at once on the Landscape 9. And we're not going to do too well. Never surrender. Let me get some healing rotations going. Oh, wow. This is actually really bad. I might not be able to do this whole, Man, I'm doing, like, healing rotations. I might not be able to handle this much difficulty. Okay. Alright. I'll definitely stick to 1 at a time for now. I see the page up ahead. Protected by a spider. Yeah, that was kind of tough. That was kind of tough. Let me attack this one. Let me get a little bit of healing going. The thing I realized with Warden is the heals are very good, but it takes a little while to get them going. You got to get like 3 gambits off, and then you start getting the healing. So you just want to get it done early and quickly if you think you're going to need it. All right, let me get the page here.
At my begging, he has shared with me his knowledge of Lhingris. For beneath the towers and orc paths is the shadowed spider haunt, the web rift, and Ungwatari's kingdom of filth.
Okay, and the next page should be somewhere around here. A rare Mordor chest. What is that? Getting a little bit of lag. Oh, that was for a deed. Alright, well, I will be showing all of these towards the end of the season. I'll just have to redo this one artificially. Okay, but here's the last web-covered page.
Thus, as Lord Sauron tells it, Shelob became his cat. And so, she kept Mordor free of its foes for many years. All for the price of a few orcish sacrifices and a supply of curious or unwary travelers.
The story is complete, and it tells of an uneasy alliance between Shelob and the orcs of Cirith Ungol, which seem to have dissolved at Sauron's defeat. Shelob, however, is still nowhere to be found. This Rukord, the Pale Herald, may also still be out there somewhere. Okay, excellent. Now, if you remember, for the last 2 regions, once I completed this, I actually went in here and I read everything for you guys so it can be in order and it's nice and clean. However, they give you a housing item too, which will read it for you in the voice acting. So I want to do that, but the problem is, since the server mergers, I lost my house. I have no idea what happened to it, so I have to get a new house. So I'm going to do that real quick. We'll read this, and then we'll continue here in Mordor. Okay, so I did a little bit of scouting in the neighborhood here. Of course, I need to get a hobbit hole, right? Like my previous home, I am a hobbit. I'm kipping proud feet. I have to have my house here. I looked around, and by far the best piece of real estate, in my opinion, is 3 Brookbank Street. And so I think that's the exact house address I had previously. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy the home, and we'll go for it. Too far away. All right. Took me a while to find a neighborhood that still had this one available. But now it's mine, I believe. All right, let's go to my personal home. A little bit of an interlude here. I've always wanted to do more with the housing for this series, but I don't really know what to do with it. Do you guys have any ideas of how I can incorporate housing into the series? Please let me know. I always thought about doing like a trophy collection, right? To show off all my trophies from a bunch of enemies, but there are just not enough hooks to put them all in here. The reason I like this house the best is because it's like up on the hill. It's got the giant tree above it. It's really nice. I really like it. It's very cool. Okay, so next, let me figure out how to plop this thing down. It's a large yard. I don't remember how to edit my housing. Let me figure this out. I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out, but you just got to click the little flower here. Enter decoration mode. All right. And we need to find a large yard, I think. I guess it's just going to have to be yard. We are looking for Lost Lore of Lhingris. Yeah, it's just a yard. Let me put this there. Perfect. All right. Save that. Take off decoration mode. And now, let's enjoy some of the lore from Lhingris.
Sauron the Great has granted me his blessing. I am Gurjol. By his blade, I now take the name Rukor the Pale Herald. At my begging, he has shared with me his knowledge of Lhingris. For beneath the towers and orc paths is the shadowed spider haunt, the web rift, and Ungwatari's kingdom of filth. Ungwatari, the last child of Ungoliant. This is the name he has chosen for her, but her ladyship has been known by many names, and even he has not learned her true name. To the Alashi of Mordor, she was Torgralisha. To the orcs, she was once Takbolob. But now she is known to most by another name, Shelob. Long before Lord Sauron came to Mordor, and long before the first stone of Barad-dûr was cast, she lived, a creature of evil in the form of a spider. Once she dwelt in the mountains of terror with the nameless horrors of that lost age. But when its peaks were drowned, Shelob alone escaped the ruin that consumed the rest of Ungoliant's children. When first she fled from Beleriand, Shelob came to the Greenwood. It was there she spawned the first of her vile children, and together they devoured it from within. In time, she became as Ungoliant, and her hunger grew insatiable. She spawned numberless spiders and crawling terrors, both to serve her and to feed her. It was then she came to the Mountains of Shadow, and upon its dark peaks and within its cavernous depths, she felt a grim familiarity. Thus, it is there she has made her home ever since. Centuries later, when at last Lord Sauron came to Mordor, he knew at once that something terrible and powerful lurked in the Mountains of Shadow. Lord Sauron soon learned that Shelob dwelt within them, and in his wisdom, he sought her aid in conquering the elves and men of the West. Driven only by her hunger, Shelob desired neither an alliance nor conquest, and to Lord Sauron's amusement, she chased him from her lair in the mountains. After returning to Barad-dûr, Lord Sauron considered destroying her, but he soon realized Shelob and her viciousness might still serve him, wittingly or not. Indeed, through his wisdom, she became the guardian of the western pass into Mordor. In return, he sent her his prisoners and lesser orcs to feast on. Thus, as Lord Sauron tells it, Shelob became his cat, and so she kept Mordor free of its foes for many years, all for the price of a few orcish sacrifices and a supply of curious or unwary travelers. In the year that Hlyrith unleashed the Great Plague, the orcs of Cirith Ungol sought to expand the Great Tower's tunnels, and they foolishly delved into her lair. In Shelob's wrath, her children flooded the passages beneath the tower, killing all they encountered. However, She relented before her children reached the cellars of Cirith Ungol, a mercy later repaid in sacrifices by orcs seeking safe passage. As Lord Sauron reminds me, Shelob serves no whims but her own. At times, a single orc can sate her hunger, but when she desires it, she will devour a company of orcs and betray their foolish trust in that imagined bargain. Indeed, woe be the day when Shelob's hunger grows too great. For when at last she comes before Lord Sauron, he shall destroy her utterly.
Alright, I think that narrator did a much better job than I could have. So I hope you guys appreciate that. I will continue doing that moving forward for the pages. But for now, let's go back to the adventure. And so let's go to Rathkale, and then we can finally move on to a different area of Mordor. Should be fun. Yeah, please let me know if you have ideas of how I can do something with housing. I would love to. I just don't know what to do with it. Okay, and then from here, I think I am fairly close to at least a few quest rings. Scout the location of the spiders, the Lhingris threat. Actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know where that came from. I think it's still from... I have to approach from above, I think. We'll see. Let's figure it out together. And I'll certainly have to be careful at Landscape 9. As you saw that fight with the 2 green spiders, I almost died. I think if I'm fighting gray enemies, it'll be a little bit better, but still a little iffy. Let me see if I can cut through here. Looks like I probably can. Still need to go a little bit further north to kind of get around some of these cliffs. Yeah, I have to like follow this little road, I believe. Change my angle here so I don't break my legs. Alright, back in Dor Amarth. However, from here, I should be able to navigate to the next region. Unless, like, this quest here opened up, like, an entire chain in Lhingris that I totally missed. If that happens, I'll be a little disappointed in myself. You'll find nothing here to report to Ingold. Okay. And now it's telling me to go back up there. Alright, fine. Let me go report to Ingold. Little back and forth-ish, but that's alright. It's gonna be along that road, I think. You see a swarm of spiders approaching from the Morgul. Stand your ground and defeat the spiders. Alright. We fight 3 gray ones at once and see what happens. I think we should be fine. Let me do a couple healing gambits here. Okay. We're fine. So I guess I have to stick around for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Alright, another one came in. Let me defeat it. No. Ah! Yeah, this is bad. Like messing up my gambits, which you just cannot do. you can't do with this landscape difficulty. Get a little bit of healing. And you know what? Let me actually... Why don't I, like, do some buffs? Might as well if I'm just standing around. Having too many close calls. Alright, I'll fight this one now. Let me switch to some AoEs here. You have successfully defeated the spider swarm. Alright. Just barely, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, good. Let's get out of here. Talk to Ingold. I don't know how I missed this quest. I guess I thought it was in a different region and I took it off my tracker, but it is what it is. Hopefully it's not going to open up a massive quest chain in Lhingris where I just was, where I'm like kind of running to a bunch of places I've already been to, but...
Come then.
You successfully fended off a group of spiders descending the Morgai. I am glad you were our first line of defense. The scuttling creatures were no match for you. Okay, so nothing else there. Okay, good. Next, I think we can finally go to the next region by following the road south. While I'm doing that, let's double check the quest tracker. So that's up there. This is one of the weird roving threat things that I'll do at the end of the season. And then, alright, yeah, I got everything I need to active, which is really only 3 quests here in Mordor. We're gonna go straight for the quest objective. Discovered another location here along my ride. Again, all the deeds, Slayer, Discovery, all that kind of stuff I'll do at the finale where I go over all the deeds for the region. You guys have been watching the series long enough. You know how it works. Alright, Talath Urui, the next region. Let's take a look at the map and see what it's going to be looking like. It looks pretty fun. Looks like there's going to be a lot of exciting things to do here. First things first, of course, open up the stables.
We are Gondor's eyes and Gondor's souls in this place.
Excellent. Hail, Kippen. Have you come to answer the summons of Karum Ubnar? If you wish to aid them, my goats will take you to the Lonely Mountain at once. Oh, I think this is... Yeah, the Lonely Mountain. No, I think this might be like a mission thing. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with that. I think that's further content from the game.
Eyes up. Ever wary.
Kippen, it is good to see you again. Have you come to assist us? Alright, so... I think this is actually going to do it for now. I think it's a good stopping point for this episode. I'm going to set my milestone here. And in the next one, we will begin adventuring in this region. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. I know it's a bit of a weird episode, kind of cleaning up a little bit in Lhingris with the pages and then the housing thing. But anyway, now we're set up for success. It's going to be fun. See you guys around.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.